What's going on, guys? Racing Nation back here, and today I'm here for a Monaco Grand Prix preview and qualifying breakdown. This will be a new series on the channel where I am breaking down real life F1 races and their qualifying and the race. So, for the Monaco Grand Prix, of course, the granddaddy of all the races, a very interesting qualifying as this season has been so far. If you guys don't want to know the qualifying results, just click away right now. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. Alright, Daniel Ricciardo stealing the pole away from Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton with a 1:13.6. That's a pretty darn good lap. Now, we see Rosberg only a tenth behind and Hamilton only 3/10 behind, but that's a pretty darn good lap from any car. Not even, a Red Bull, but just any car. It's a pretty darn good lap. So then, of course, I said in second place was Nico Rosberg. He said in his post-qualifying interview, nothing went wrong with the car. It was just, he just didn't quite have the pace. And I understand with Daniel Ricciardo setting that kind of lap time. Right behind him was the story of qualifying, other than Daniel Ricciardo pole, but the story of, other than Daniel Ricciardo's pole, the story of qualifying. Lewis Hamilton, 1:13.9. Now, his first run in Q3, well, he didn't get on track. He got to the end of the pit lane and had to be pushed back by his mechanics, as he just lost power, and of course he's quickly turned off the car, and it ended up being a fuel pressure issue, which kept him out there, and he came back out at the end of Q3, but only for one flying lap, and his engine was down on power. He said, or Paddy Lowe said after qualifying, that his engine was good 10-12 horsepower off. So, I of course, only being 3/10 off Red Bull, I feel like that's a solid lap time with 10 to 12 horsepower off. Yes, Monaco's not exactly a track where you need straight line speed, but still, that's very good to see that he's still fighting through adversity, even with all that he's gotten through this year. So, I'm going to talk a little bit quickly about Lewis Hamilton and his general kind of season so far. Obviously, I feel like once all these engine gremlins go away, I feel like Hamilton will dig into Nico Rosberg's lead. It's just a matter of how much can he dig into it. It will happen. The lead will get smaller, but how much? That's the question. Later in the year, we'll start figuring it out. And I just want to point out, Rosberg has not had one engine or any mechanic failure this year, any major mechanic failure this year. While Lewis has had two engine rebuilds completely done up in smoke. And of course, this fuel problem, and there's another one I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's had mechanical gremlins all year. So I feel like once he recovers from those, and once Mercedes finally screws their head on right, I feel like he will make a dent into Rosberg's lead. How big will that dent be, and can he overcome it? I'm not sure. Let's head into this race tomorrow. So today is Saturday. This will be uploaded on Saturday night, late night. So Sunday, Grand Prix of Monaco. Who will win it? It's going to be Lewis Hamilton. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm looking at Daniel Ricciardo and Nico Rosberg, and they're both amazing drivers, but they're not as aggressive. I feel like both of them have a very laid-back kind of just whatever, or not an whatever, but a laid-back, not as much aggressive driving style as Lewis Hamilton. And Lewis Hamilton has a very, very aggressive driving style. If he doesn't get into any incidents going into turn one, I feel like he will have a very good possibility of winning the race, as I feel like he has an edge over his teammate. If you give them equal cars and no mechanical issues for Hamilton, Hamilton is the faster driver. He is the fastest driver in this field. Um, so I'm going to go with Hamilton tomorrow. P1. P2 will be Daniel Ricciardo. P3 Rosberg. And Sebastian Vettel, almost a second off of the pole time. That's a big ouch for him with a 1:14.5. But I think he'll hold on to fourth. I think in the end, I think Nico Hulkenberg will take fifth. Great job to Nico Hulkenberg getting fifth in qualifying. It'll be then Danny Kvyat in sixth, and then Kimi Räikkönen in seventh, Carlos Sainz eighth, Fernando Alonso ninth, and I'm going to say Sergio Perez 10th, only because I feel like the Force India has a lot of speed, but I just have a bit more faith in Nico Hulkenberg. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family about this channel. Come check it out. I'll see you in the next one.